Hello, friends. Let's talk about how to or where do you start when you want to farm and how do you maneuver that? And then, what are some of the things that you will need as a farmer to ensure that you operate well? We are just going to do like a discussion of where do you begin, what farming ventures are profitable right now, what can you do when you have land and you have water and you maybe you want to start farming, maybe as a beginner and from the very scratch level. And I just want to give you my story about where I started and why I'm doing what I'm doing and some of the lessons that I've learned along the way. So this is just like a chit chat for us to see what's working and what's not. So some people find themselves with land. So you have like you've inherited land or you bought land a few years ago and you don't even know what to do with it. You've seen people say, oh, they want to get into farming. You want to get into farming and you think that farming is quick way, like gambling. You put money today, 1 million here, and tomorrow it multiplies to 2 million or even 3 million. So I want to tell you about what you don't know about farming. But then farming is a very expensive venture. And it's a place where you'll get stressed, number one. It's a place where you'll lose money, number two. And it's a place where you will feel alone and become a loner when you are an introvert and you thought that you had money. So farming is not a place where you think your money will multiply in seconds. It's about patience and it needs a lot of consistency. You will not farm tomatoes today and tomorrow they give you money. It doesn't work that way. And again, there are ways that you can mitigate. Ensure that your stress levels are at minimal because you will get stressed. And some of these stresses come in when you pump a lot of money as a beginner. You'll find that you have 20 acres of land and you want to put up 10 acres to onions and 10 acres to tomatoes, and you've taken a loan, a bank loan of maybe 5 million or 10 million Kenya shillings. Farming does not want loans, and you can only take up loans to farm when you've already experienced. When you have the right experience, you can pump in money through loans into farming, but you can't start off farming with a loan because you're going to fail. And I'm not like telling you that you're going to fail and wishing you bad. I'm telling you that is the real scenario. You're going to fail. So point number one, just know that farming, you will fail. There's no shortcut about it. You are going to fail and you'll fail terribly in your first venture in farming. And that's why you find that only few people can consistently farm and only few people can withstand that stress and know that, yes, I'm into farming because one, I do not have a choice, or two, because I have the passion of farming. It's not like I'm taking farming because I have this money and I want it to multiply. No, it has to come from the heart. And when it comes from the heart, then you win big again from the heart. And some of the things that I've learned as a farmer, because I've done onions, I've done tomatoes, and when I tell you I've done onions, I did onions way back in 2018, 2019, I did onions. I failed terribly because I had elephant issues in the farm. I'm near the Chulu Hills National Park, and therefore elephants would come to the farm, walk all the way looking for water and vegetation and all that. And that time I think the farms were not, most people had not developed their farms, and therefore the animals would just walk and find themselves in a farm where you have like your watermelon or your onions. I failed in onions because one, water issues. That time I didn't have a borehole. So along the way I've learned that I need water, and you will need water, and you need a lot of water. So if you're not in a stream, in a river, you need water. Like you need to put up that borehole or that well. I failed in onions because of workers. People will disappoint you. Workers will not work, and more so when you are a telephone farmer, because I was still working in the city. And I would come during the weekend. Oh, you find that, oh, this has not been sprayed, or this has not been weeded, or this, there was no water, or the generator broke down, I didn't tell you. Workers will disappoint you. So those are some of the things that you would like to know. You will need a lot of water, and you will need, if you're doing onions, you can't compete with someone in Rombo who has 20 acres of onions and his farm is touching the river. Then that farmer is 100% there on the farm. Maybe they have leased that land, and therefore they can do whatever they want on it. And therefore, those are some of the things that when I got into farming, I didn't know. Workers, if you do not supervise, and if you're not strict, those people will kill your dream, because not everyone has the same passion as you are. So if you have that passion, you can't like biologically pass it to your worker. It doesn't work that way. And as much as money, as much as you pay them, as much as you give them other incentives, they are just people who are not loyal. And also when you employ relatives, people are not loyal, and people do not have the same passion as you are. So those are some of the things that I've learned. And the other thing is, I also planted watermelon. I didn't know about pests. I didn't know which the sprays that I needed to put up. Everything, like it was coming from scratch. Like I didn't know. I would come, oh, in the morning, oh, we have this aphids are here, and by the time you do something about it, they've already destroyed the crop. And therefore, after learning on the workers' failure, on water issues, and therefore I put up the borehole, on being 100% available on the farm, I've realized that sometimes we need to do ventures that, yes, you are a farmer, but there are some projects that can run even without your presence, or even if your presence is in there, you're not needed on a day-to-day basis. And those are some of the ventures that I'm doing at Movie Farm right now, because I've learned the lesson. Remember that I started farming in I remember it was 2016, and then 2017, up to now 2025. I've learned along the way. I've made a lot of mistakes along the way, and I can categorically tell you that I've not seen that 1 million in farming. It's only that I'm not looking for money. I'm not looking for that money gratification, because I've handled a lot of money elsewhere. But for me, as a woman, I would like to have that sustainability, to know that I can pass on whatever projects that I'm doing to my children. I can retire peacefully at the village, because I like that village life. I'm not a city girl. I wasn't born in the city, but circumstances forced me to come to the city to look for my, for my welfare and all that. But I'm building that system or the structures to ensure that even when I get to my retirement age, I'm able to say I did this, and I saved this, and this is where I am, and then pass that into the next generation. Because as we live this life, everyone will die, and we are all looking for that legacy of who is Mbuvi and who is Emma. And for me, that's the passion, and that's the gratification that I'm looking for right now. And So some of the projects that I'm doing right now are more of self-sustaining. There's projects that can sustain themselves and will be even sustainable in the near future, in 10 years to come, or even 100 years to come, when it's passed through generation after generation. And I've come to learn about those projects because of the mistakes that I did before, because I went ahead and just got into farming and I wanted to make millions. You know how people tell you, oh, in 3 months you can earn 1 million planting tomatoes. So that's how I began, and that's and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make millions when I'm planting my tomatoes, and make millions when I'm planting my onions. And yet I hadn't looked at my location. I hadn't looked at the climate on where I am or where I bought that land. And those mistakes. So if you're in the highlands, if you're near a river, plant your onions and plant your tomatoes, because you have a lot of water. Your climate is so good that those things will grow in there and you're going to thrive. But if you're in a climate that is harsh, it's hot, you only receive rains for two times in a year, like I do, why are you doing tomatoes? Because when you go to the market, someone from Rombo has grown their tomatoes in a 20-acre farm within a river. They have casuals who get small incentives, and then you've dug a borehole, a huge investment. You're pumping that water maybe through a generator, petrol, or even you've invested in solar. You've done a small acreage, 1 acre. Your workers you've paid them all your money. If the two of you meet at the market, one person will sell a full lorry because they're selling cheaply, and your tomatoes will be left there to rot because you've not even returned your cost of investment. So I looked at that, I did the math. The best thing is I'm an accountant, and therefore I'm able to understand my numbers very quickly. And I found that I should not strain myself planting a small acreage of tomatoes, because of one, tomatoes need a lot of money actually. If someone lies to you that you'll put an acre of tomatoes using 100 Kenya shillings, 1,000 Kenya shillings, that's a big lie. You need like 1 million for you to start off like in the right footing. And when you get the money, the return, you need to plow it back all into the project. So it's not an easy thing. So back to the story is I looked at the projects that do not need me at the farm, because I know I'm not available at the farm always. And one of the biggest projects that I wish I had started with long time ago, not even the goods, was about beekeeping. Beekeeping is a place where you'll just buy your beehives, put them there, the bees will come and do the work for you. It's like you've employed the bees to make you money. You'll come after 6 months, you'll harvest your honey, you will sell it. If I have 20 kgs of honey, or 20 beehives, that gives me maybe 10 kgs each, and someone has 1 acre of tomato, and we meet at the market, your tomatoes are going to rot. You have stress selling them the same day. I will have my honey, which I've packaged it nicely and which I can sell comfortably without a rush for the next 6 months. And a kg of tomato right now can cost 40 shillings. A kg of honey will not go below 800. So who is in the market? And who has let other people work for them and not yourself? And how much have you invested? So if I may tell you about some of the mistakes that I did and what I've learned, is please look at your climate, look at the size of farm that you have, because that matters a lot on what project you're going to put. And then have an open mind, because farming is not all about tomatoes. and farming is not all about cabbages. There are other ventures that you can do as a farmer. You can even put poultry, layers, chicken, kienyeji, the local ones, depending on how much time you spend on that farm. So we've said that the big criteria is the size of land. You can't be farming tomatoes on a quarter acre and say that you're making money. Never. Then that small acreage, you better put chicken, because you can put like a huge number of chicken in a small space, or even goats. You can zero graze them. So the land will matter. Your climate matters on what you do. If you're in the highlands and if you're in the dry lands, you can do beehives, you can do goats, you can do sheep, because they thrive in that climate. If your place is raining on a daily basis, you can plant cabbages, you can plant carrots, and they will do marvelous, and you'll get a lot of money. So as a beginner in farming, sit down, look at your long-term plan. Just check, where do I want to be in the next 5 years, and what can I do? Do I have time? Do I have the investment? Do I have the land to put up what you want to put up? Without that clear plan, you're going to fail, you're going to make mistakes. And it's bad enough that I made the mistakes because maybe I wasn't watching, or there wasn't even many farmers on YouTube when I was starting off, and therefore I didn't listen to such videos, because at that time I don't think we were sharing as much as we do. Social media right now has already blown up. So if you're not like reading and ensuring that you're getting the right knowledge right now, when that knowledge is free, it's available, you only need data to just check who is in your location and what are they doing, because a massive production has an advantage. If you're in a community where you're doing pixels, because pixels are doing very well, and your next door neighbor is doing pixels, please do pixels, because when a buyer, those brokers, when they come to that your neighbor, they will find that, oh, the next neighbor has pixels, and therefore let's combine this, and our transport will be cheaper, and therefore let's buy the entire pixels in the community. So please don't farm things alone, and don't go into farming blindly, because you need to be aware of what is that is needed in the community. It's kind of, I can give you an example of where I come from. I don't think I can make money planting courgettes, because I've never seen courgettes in my community. We don't take courgettes. We are not courgettes people. I don't even think that many people like cucumber where I come from. And therefore, planting some of those things, and then you go to the market and you find that you're alone, you bring in a full pro box of courgettes, and other people are asking you, what is this that you've brought to the market? They don't even know what courgettes look like. So what kind of a farmer are you? Because you've not done your research. You've not even learned on YouTube what other people are doing. And I would pity for you, because you've gone blindly, and you've not used your resources well. So as farmers, please, let's research, visit other farms, read, learn. Everything is free nowadays. You don't even need to pay for anything. If you pay for something, that make sure that you're getting value for money for that. And let's farm what is required, and let's farm what you can either eat or what you can market. Sometimes I see a post and someone saying, I have this, look for me the market, and I'm like, when you planted, the first thing as a farmer, you need to be a marketer. Before you even plant that tomato or capsicum, look at your market. Make sure that you know where you can take them. You don't harvest and then now start waiting. Tell people what you're doing. Make sure that you have that ready market before you even start that venture. And I just felt like just sitting here and talking to you about those mistakes that I have, and let me just give you a story of where Movie Farm will be in the next few 2 years. So we've started off our beekeeping project it's going to run on its own. Then we have our goats. So we are going to increase the number of goats, and we are going to add the dopers. Remember that now I've been trained about dopers, so watch out this space. And then those two, with a little bit of small scale farming for maybe my own family needs, and then adding on agro-tourism, because that is coming in 2026. Watch out the space. I know many of you want to revisit the farm, but let's have the projects running, and then I can invite you over, because I don't want you to come and then you find that it's an empty field. And we are also going to purchase our Ella in place in 2026. And then as I get experience on goat farming, as I learn on the job, I'll do some trainings, because Movie Farm we are registered, is a registered enterprise, and therefore I will be able to do some trainings online even before that. And the other thing that I'm very key about is formulation of my own feeds, and also farming my own feeds. And then we have like a very huge project that is coming up, which is my house. I've dreamt of having that house for quite a while, I think 5 years or so, and therefore this is now the time that the dream is coming true. And I think I'll carry you along as we do that in August and in September. And therefore, why I'm here right now is because I've learned along the way, and I've not lost my consistency, and also because I'm still passionate, and I still think that I can be a millionaire in farming, of course. And I'm also looking at my retirement plan. So those are some of the things that make me wake up in the morning and come and teach you all. So please, if this is your first time into the channel, if you're looking at how to start a farm and how to manage that farm, this is your channel. Please give us a thumbs up and put that notification bell on, and also subscribe to the channel. And until my next video, and please on the comment section, just tell me, what do you want me to talk about in my next video, and I'll be very grateful to do that for you. So please, until the next time, bye bye.